Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the CSGO Clutch Podcast. My name is Adam Cone. I am your host. I have a new microphone. I have a podcast mic. I am trying out. I apologize in advance if any of you all can hear background noise. I apologize for Dan. I'm only kidding. But yeah, I apologize for any issues with sound quality in this podcast. I am trying my microphone out in different places. Currently not a fan of this boom stand, but not much I can do as we record this at right around 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time at night. Joining me, as always, my co-host Dan Welch. Dan, what's happening, buddy? I know it's past your bedtime. Only kidding.
Well past my bedtime, Adam, but I'm doing pretty good.
Excellent.
Had a decent day today. Thank you for your Tai Lu call.
It is my pleasure. Hopefully everyone out there also listened to me and played Tai Lu, because Dan King had a decent day.
Oh, man.
We can talk a little bit about the recap, because I think, Dan, you and I are going to bury the lead a little bit before we go into your winnings. Draftkings! It's 9:40 p.m. as we're recording this, as I'm talking right now on this podcast. It's 9:40 p.m. Eastern as I'm on your site, and you still have reservation only for a 6:30 a.m. slate.
Get it together, DraftKings. What the hell?
Contest ended several hours ago. Come on, DraftKings. I will say, shout out to DraftKings, because for those of you listening here on Thursday, we have a $10,000 to first place contest on Friday. $30,000 prize pool. It's time to get some money, Mr. Dan.
Boom.
All right. While we're waiting on DraftKings, if we don't get a chance to record on DraftKings, oh well. What Dan and I are going to do is we're going to talk about Dan's winnings. We're going to talk a little bit about his lineup construction. We're going to go over the pinnacle betting odds for tomorrow's 6 matches. We have 2 at 6:30, 2 at about 10 o'clock, and the last 2 are going to be around 1:30 Eastern, 1:30 p.m. Eastern. So we're going to go over the pinnacle betting odds after Dan goes over his winning lineup. Well, almost winning lineup. We're going to talk about some of the things he did right, some of the things he's going to do to improve. We'll go over the pinnacle betting odds. We'll go over prize picks, and hopefully by the end of the podcast, when we're done with that, DraftKings has a player pool up. You'll get our first initial reactions as well on those player pools, and it'll be pretty much of a speed run through DraftKings. It is late as we're recording this podcast. Again, DraftKings has no player pool, but Dan and I wanted to pump out some content and talk a little bit about IEM Cologne group stage. Dan, I can't exactly pull up your lineup, but as I have Pinnacle up here on the screen for the viewers, talk to us about your highest performing lineup and tell us player by player, points scored, and who were your 6 in your lineup, starting with the captain.
Oh, it's a crazy one. So, Dupree for captain. I liked his stats on, I think it was Dust 2.
You have balls to go Dupree captain, but that's besides the point.
I actually had quite a few of Dupree and captain. It was pricing driven as well as potential performance on expected maps. Zaiwu in the flex, Blame F in the flex, Dan King in the flex, one off, Apex in the flex, and then a bring back of Crimbo in the flex at 6,200, who overperformed, but we also liked him on the pod, so I actually had a lot of Crimbo, and I just kind of backfilled with I stacked Vitality almost in every lineup, and then
Crimbo didn't do half bad. All right, so let's go through this again. Captain Dupree, Apex, Dan King, Crimbo. Who were your other 2?
Zaiwu and Blame F.
Okay, so you had 1 Astralis, 1 Big.
Yeah, it was a bring back.
We talked a bit about this in the podcast yesterday about possibly game stacking that game. Quite frankly, I'm surprised it didn't go 3 maps the way that was shaking out.
Yeah.
All right, so talk to us. How did you land on Dupree captain, and why did you decide to play Dupree captain? Again, you get balls, sir. I'm kidding, but Dupree has been so up and down with this roster lately. Tell us why you chose to go with Dupree captain.
It was purely based on stats on my expected map pool. I don't remember what they played because I don't even know what I had for lunch today, but it was yeah. I always do just a quick and dirty analysis to see what maps I'm thinking are going to get played, and then I pick whoever's got the best stats. Sometimes I'll rotate between like if there's a like a top three, a core three, and one of them goes off, I might rotate to the next one because I think people will chase the good performance,
So the
and it does.
maps were Sprout picked Vertigo, Vitality picked Dust 2, and Overpass was the decider. It won 3 maps.
Yeah, it was Vertigo. So it was based on Vertigo and Dust too, because I actually thought Vitality would sweep. Well, I mean, I was pretty convinced that they would sweep. I did not
I
expect
think a lot of us were convinced they would sweep.
Sprout to take Vertigo and
I didn't
stare at
also
it.
expect Stahir to go plus 20 either.
Dude, what? He wasn't even in the winning lineup, I don't think, and because that's how little he was played.
Again,
Um,
well, here's the thing. The dude's a beast. Like, I need to watch some actual plays of what he's been doing. But that's an impressive performance.
he's been really bad recently. Like it was just out of left field. I mean, actually, no, I shouldn't say out of left field because we had seen him back I think at the major, and he did really well.
Put it
But
this way: most of his numbers came from the double overtime on Vertigo. He was 41 and 25 plus 16 on Dust 2. He was plus 4. Overpass, he was minus. Sorry, not minus 1. He was 0.
so
So
yeah, but that's
he did his damage during double overtime on Vertigo.
for sure. But still, I mean, it's Vitality. Sprout's a tier two team. No one should be performing like that against Vitality.
No, they shouldn't. But
Here we are.
that's besides the point. All right, so let's do pre-captain. Talk to us
Yep.
about. Obviously, you I talked about Zywoo. Was
Yeah.
kind of a given. Both you and I, that was our core play. Why Apex?
Well, again, I thought it was going to be a sweep, and Apex. I had this theory that in sweeps that he puts himself in positions to kind of get some eco frags. So I went with Apex. It was also pricing driven, but I liked the 3 stack of Vitality. It just seemed practical.
So talk to us again about. Just real quickly, talk to us about Apex price again, just to remind us.
Apex was 6,800, so that's right in his sweet spot. He got 67.5 points, which that is perfect.
Yeah, that's
in my
almost
opinion.
10x right there.
My goal is 500 points in a lineup.
Yeah, if you want to take that one at GPP, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about your one-off of Dan King.
Well, I mean that was actually, you know what happened? So I was listening to the pre-match commentary by Harry. He was like pumping up Dan King, so I'm like, okay, I gotta get some more Dan King in there. Sometimes I'll listen to them because I feel like they have a good read on, a good pulse on what's going on. And plus, we talked about it, and I liked it. I mean, he was so low owned too. It was absurd. Actually, no, he's 11%, but I had a few captain Dan Kings too, which did well, but not as good as my third place lineup.
Very nice.
Um,
All right, let's get into it. Your game stack. Blame F and Crimbo. Crimbo, I think we all can kind of gather if anyone listened to the podcast yesterday. So Crimbo just price-wise, and we thought if Big were going to do well, Crimbo would have had to shown up. But, all right, talk to us a little bit. I mean, you kind of did yesterday, but tell us why Blame F over Config, who, by the way, crushed it.
yeah, he did. It's
And
just
Big, and by the way, I'm sorry, Big Astrologist, I got myself from earlier, did go 3 maps. Big ended up coming back and winning Dust 2.
Well, Crimbo was, that was one of our picks. I liked it. And, he hasn't had the best results lately, so I figured maybe, he'd be underplayed or underowned, which was, I think, somewhat true. But then he overperformed. And then Blame F is like, I mean, Blame F is almost unfadable. Like, the guy just...
Blame F's been really good. Let's just call it like it is. Blame F has been really freaking good lately. Sorry if I'm moving the mic, folks.
price wasn't even that bad either. I think he was 8,800. So
Yeah, that's
yeah, and
reasonable.
this could have been a random entry where I had my core, and then I'm just like rotating pieces in.
I mean, Blame F, 60 and 51, he was +9. And Crimbo, oddly enough, +12. The highest performer from Big. So like we said, a Big to stay competitive, Crimbo had to show up, and boy did he. So congrats on Crimbo.
I actually have a lot of.
You've talked a little bit about Blame F, Dan, so I'm going to put you here on the spot. The winning lineup, that lineup of yours, your best performing lineup went up against, what was the winning lineup?
The winning lineup which was probably not even close to the actual optimal. I was only a point and a half away from Blame F Captain.
Yep.
Iwu.
Yep.
Config. Apex. Farlig. Dan King. That's a 3-2-1. A pretty,
They decided to go on 3 Astralis, and that lineup hit because Config was +15, Blame F +9, and Farlig was +9. Farlig, I think, really saved himself on Overpass. That really saved him. Farlig was +4. He was not having a good Overpass, and towards the end of that map, I believe he started really showing up. So, kudos to him. Farlig was +12 on Nuke. That says a lot for an Opper, by the way. On a non-Opper map that is Dust 2, Farlig was +12.
Let's be real. Like it should not have gone to Overpass. Like.
Big gave away Nuke. With all due respect to Big, I had that game on in the background as I was working. Big were up, I think it was 11-4 at the half.
It was.
There is no reason Big should have given that away. Let's just take a look. What was Nuke? Yeah, Big were up 11-4 at the half. I'm just putting that out there. They only got 3 T-sided rounds. In the entire T-half of Big, they got 3 bomb plants. 3. That's low, folks. For something to win all 30 maps, 3 bomb plants, that kept their economy low. And it was just... I mean, Farlig got 29 frags on this map. He was, what? 29, 5, and 17 for +12. 88.1 ADR and a 1.31 rating. Yes, Config was going nuts, but Config and Farlig basically brought them back. And especially, I believe it was the second half really brought them back on the CT side of things. And kept them in there on the T side. But my goodness, good for Farlig. One of your faves, Dan, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we kind of talked shit about him yesterday, and not talk shit, but we didn't hype him up exactly. But we were both on Big. Big should have won. Big should have swept. Let's just call it what it is. And then Overpass is a good map for Astralis. It's good for Farlig, even when he was on the Flames.
I'm really surprised it went to Overpass, to be honest, as a decider. Astralis are a good Overpass team, but I was listening to some of the commentators saying this. Astralis do not have a good map pool or a deep map pool. Because they're a team that used to pick Ancient a lot, and they're not picking a lot of Ancient anymore.
That's a good point. Yeah, they were being hyped up as the best Ancient team in the world, bro.
Yeah, and then I don't know. I personally think it came before these updates to Ancient. But I think they realized they might have got a little bit exposed, so that's not in the player pool. But you've got Nuke, which is a go-to for them. They're good on Overpass. Okay on Dust 2. I don't think Astralis have a deep map pool at all.
It's like Vitality. It's kind of the same. They're in the same situation.
Yep, it'll be very interesting to see what these teams do post Cologne during the spring player break. Or the Tier 1 player break. So, anything else here we want to talk about from that winning lineup? You want to talk about with your lineup? Going back to any more Blame F points? Because like you said, that dude's been on point recently.
Yeah, it almost seems like he's cheating. I don't even know how to explain it. Just some of the
professional hackers.
They just keep coming. It's like
one of my friends would say. Yeah.
No one's respecting him. Look,
if that's the case, we'll continue to take advantage of that all day, every day.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right, are you ready to get into the Pinnacle betting odds here?
Sure.
Excellent. Well, again, congratulations on your big winnings today. You may not have been a GPP winner, but you came pretty damn close.
Yep.
Excellent. Well, congratulations, Dan. Round of applause in the chat, or as y'all listening to this podcast, round of applause for Mr. Dan.
Thanks.
Welcome. All right, Dan, here we go. G2 versus Movie Star Riders. No surprise here. G2 coming in as a minus 295 favorite. Ninjas in Pajamas versus Heroic. Heroic coming as a minus 172 favorite. I'm guessing Heroic are not higher because of the recent addition of Yabi. And this is a roster this is their first event since Yabi came in. Ents versus Vitality. Ents coming in as a minus 168 favorite. Na'Vi against Mouse. This one's kind of surprising just how high it is. They're a minus 510 favorite versus Mouse.
Yeah.
Not enough respect for Mouse, in my opinion. Not to mention, I don't know if they're taking into account that Na'Vi's still playing with SDY as a stand-in. He's not on the roster. So,
And electronic IGL.
yeah. Cloud9 minus 245 favorite against the Outsiders. And Team Liquid and Team Spirit, this is a little surprising. It's a push. Team Liquid are minus 109 favorite, and Team Spirit are minus 111 favorite. It's a push. It's a split. This is kind of crazy, Dan.
Yeah.
So, let's go to Prize Picks, if that's okay with you.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Gonna-
Draftkings still released the player rules. So.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on with DK. All right, so let's do this. Let's refresh Prize Picks. Let's head on over here to the CSGO tab, and let's talk about it. We're going to skip over the European Championship, or the European Cup, or tournament, or whatever they're calling it. As I don't know enough about the teams, personally, to have any kind of stake in over-unders on these. If you've been watching the event and you want to play some and try to get some exposure, go for it. Like, the Sensei's back on this at 19.5 versus Austria. I don't know if anyone on Austria is any good. So, like, 19.5 could be bad. This could go double overtime, and you could smash the over on Sensei. So, that's besides the point. Like, I see eStore here. Really the only names that are familiar. Yeah. You ready to get into this, Dan? As we're still waiting on Draftkings. As it's almost 10 p.m. Eastern and still no player pool.
I know, I'm struggling right now.
It's ridiculous. And Dan's going to go to bed soon. So we're going to make this a relatively quick podcast. It's been a long day.
Content, though.
Yeah, for sure. Dan, G2 versus Movie Star Riders. We get two options. We got Nico at 41, Monacy at 39. Any interest in either of these two?
That's tough. I mean,
see, I think I think these are trappy lines because I think this is kind of pushes. I think Nico probably ends up around 41 and Monacy ends up around 39.
Yeah, and like, so I see one of two scenarios playing out, and that's that G2 smashes, or it's close. But I can't see Movie Star Riders taking a map. And the smashing seems more likely, which moves the line for me. I mean, but Movie Star Riders could put up a fight.
I think they will put up a fight, for sure.
Oh, they're definitely playing Inferno, which, there's even a couple of save rounds could lead to an under hitting. So I think I would go with Monacy just because the T side opping on Inferno is not ideal. But Nico,
so you go under on Monacy?
Yeah.
Okay. I like the call. Alex
Nico.
Sorry, go ahead. Go to Nico.
Just who knows? Like, he could get 20.
Exactly.
And most likely he'll go over, but I don't know. It just seems
by the way, welcome to G2 playing.
All their plays.
Yep. All right, what about the Movie Star Rider side of things, Dan? Alex at 34 and Sun Pius at 37. Also, just notice how Dan and I are not talking about the map 3s because we can't. We're just going off maps 1 and 2. I think these lines are also kind of pushes. I think I'd lean Sun Pius slightly under, but that's at 36.
Sure. The under on some bias. I mean,
It's also possible Sunpius just completely takes over a map.
of course, yeah. I just can't see it. I can't see 37. I mean, yeah, no.
I feel like the safer bet here is under on Sunpius, but I kind of really like this line, so. Cool. Anything else here from this game before we head on to the next one?
I can actually see Alex going over
Okay.
34. That's a pretty low. He's been performing really well at like a high level.
What's your confidence meter in that, by the way, on a 1 to 10?
7.
Wow, so you're higher on Alex, okay.
Yeah, I mean he's good, and I think he overperforms in these higher level matches. But let me make sure before I espouse some nonsense. But yeah, keep going. I'm just gonna look at his stats on top 20 teams.
All right, sorry about that. As again trying to readjust my mics in. This isn't as easy as a headset mic, folks. So I'm still working on it. So again, I apologize. Rez 37.5, and this is the first one I feel very confident in. Hampus 33.5. I'm smashing the over on Hampus.
Yeah, definitely. I'm with you on that one. So Alex's rating doesn't really change too much with depending on the rank of the team.
Yeah.
So he's pretty consistent across levels.
He's open.
So, yeah. I think the over, I'll stick with the over on Alex, and definitely the over on Hampus.
Yeah. 100%. All right, you know what? This is not working out the way I want to. So Dan, talk to us about Rez while I refix my mic.
Rez? Jay Rez?
Yes, sir.
Risky. Play good plays. 37.5. He could get 20 or he could get 60. Like, it's too in the middle for me.
I like it, but yeah, I'm smashing the over on Hampus.
Yeah, that's like a 9 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Stown 38.5. Yabby 36.5.
I like Stown better than Yabby just because Yabby's so new. Who knows? I could see Stown having to step up.
In the 2 games that we've already seen with this roster, Stown had 1 good game and 1 bad game.
Yeah, but he didn't have to do anything in the best of 1. I mean, he was just watching.
Yeah, but I mean, like, Yabby, I'm staying away from. I'd go under, but I'm staying away from Yabby.
Yeah, it seems risky. Just because he's new.
It's too risky for me. I'm sorry. Like, he's just too new to this roster.
Yeah, I mean, if you're playing DFS, Yabby, love it, but not when you're
different story.
Right. Just to draw a comparison.
So you like Stown over? Dan, Stown over?
Yes. Are you coming in and out?
Oh, my apologies. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Stown over.
Stown over. All right, cool. All right, simple.
Lord.
I want to say this is a trappy line, folks, but
is it
44.5 versus Mouse? That is a tough line for even simple to get to. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know what the sad part is, though? I can see him getting there. I can see him getting like 44, 45.
He's there on 1 map. Still no player pool. But yeah,
I know. I just refreshed the page for everyone, so nothing there. Are you doing anything with simple here, or are you just going to take the probability of him hitting the under?
I think I would stay away. Like, I don't need to play that. I don't need to do a 5 out of 5. I'd rather have like 3 2 picks and triple up on Hampus and who else are like?
We're gonna get into. We're going to get into it. It's actually on the other side of this game. Torzi, 33.5.
Oh, over for
Yeah,
sure.
exactly. And here's the second. And here's the second over. But this is more trappy. But this is kind of an insult to him. Frozen at 32.5.
Oh, come on. Yeah, I mean,
If you want to,
okay, great, it's Navi, but it's still we're still talking about two very, very talented players.
the two best players on their team. Now, Dan, if you want to 3-pick power play this, you could go Hampus, Torzi, Frozen all over, and I think you get a really good chance at getting that to pay out.
Little 5x.
Yeah, I think that's a really good chance right there. So, anything else from this game?
Nope.
Let's get into Ents versus Vitality. Spinks is at 40.5 and Hades at 35.5. I think those are right lines. Spinks, I actually think hits right around 40, 41, 42.
Yeah, that's scary.
These are Prize Picks did a really good job with these lines, by the way.
Yeah.
I have no interest in anyone from Ents here, do you? At least on Prize Picks. The lines are too trappy.
Yeah, I can't really do Hades up against Zaiwu.
Nope. As much as Opera versus Opera isn't really a quote-unquote thing, I think it's somewhat of a thing.
I think it's a good, anecdotal thing, what's the right word? Tool to use when picking. Because sometimes it becomes such a mental, jumping jack to pick who does what. Like, that's a good way to draw a line. But Zaiwu over, I like 40.5. For sure.
Yeah, I can see over on Zaiwu 40.5. He's going to have to perform here.
Magus 33. That's too low.
It's too low, but Magus can easily have less than 10 frags on one map, with all due respect to him.
Right, but I don't think this is a blowout. I mean, I just think it's close enough where he does get it. He does get there.
Yep.
If they lose,
for sure. All right. Anything else here from this game before we head into our last two games here? You good?
I feel like I'm doing all the talking though. You go. You do the next one.
Aye, Cap'n. I have no interest. Well, the next one is Cloud9 versus Outsiders. Shiro's 41.5. Axile's 39.5. These are the right lines for them. I can see Axile going over against the Outsiders. I can see Shiro going slightly under, but I actually think these are right around where they're going to score. So again, congrats, a big props and shout-outs to Prize Picks. Great job on the lines here. I want nothing to do with these Cloud9 lines right now. On Draftkings, there's a different story, but I have no interest right now in anything on Prize Picks with these lines at all.
I wonder if Draftkings is figuring out whether or not they can add Cloud9 to the slate.
They already came out and said it was a 4-gamer, so.
Yeah, but we don't know what teams.
We do. It's on the page.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. So
I just have no idea, but we have no player pools, folks. But that's besides the point. Anything for you from Cloud9 here? Because I have no interest in anyone from Cloud9.
Let's move on.
All right. Here's the one I'm not super confident in, but James 36. I take the over. He is going to have to basically carry this team on his back if they want to defeat Cloud9. With all due respect to Flit and everyone else on this roster, James going to have to take over the server. He's going to have to put up 40-plus easy if Outsiders want any chance in the first two maps. And then put this, either win both maps or to force a map 3. I take James over.
I mean, he could get there even if they just win one map, one out of the two first maps. That might be enough for him to get there.
I guess the other thing is James time, Mister. Yeah, I'm just gonna save.
Yeah, exactly. And then they hunt, and he takes a couple of them out, and then they stop the hunt, and then he gets his over.
It's time for the hunt. Hunt. Oh, it's 10 o'clock at night, folks. I apologize. I'm tired. And a little silly, but that's besides the point. Flip 37.5. I like that line. I think he gets right around 37. No thank you there. Anything else? All right. I'm outright fading Spirit versus Liquid. So what I mean by I'm fading Team Spirit versus Liquid? Patsy's at 39.5. Magix is 35.5. Elise is at 40 and OC is at 36.5. Trap. All lines, traps.
Magix is good though. I would go over on
Magisk has been the support player on this team for how long?
long time.
Or he feels at the support role. Like, I don't see him getting a lot of high fracking scores. No thank you on Magisk, 35.5. If you want to go over, by all means. I'm inclined to take the under on Patsy here.
Okay.
More of a gut call than anything. I just don't see him getting there.
See, I think you can avoid this one because, like, I don't. I mean,
They're all very choppy lines, Dan.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on your original.
Yep. All right. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. We apologize again. Draftkings does not have a player pull up. So we gave you a little bit more of a breakdown on prize picks. Dan, let's do one final thing here before we head out of here for the day. Let's talk about Thursday's matches. Navi versus Mouse. Who do you have winning? I'm just going to go right down hltv.org. Navi versus Mouse Sports. Who you got?
I'm actually going to take the Mouse. I think they're playing at a high enough level to. I mean, Navi loses these first.
What on earth about their play-in stage gives you any confidence they even take a map off Navi?
Orzy and Frozen.
What about their recent play in the play-in stage gives you any confidence they take a map off Navi?
Hold on, I didn't. You got muffled there. I didn't.
That's because I was trying to not laugh while I was talking.
Oh no, I said Torzy and Frozen because they're.
Yes, I know, but what kind of gives you any kind of confidence whatsoever that they at all are going to do well, and like even to take a map? Torzy and Frozen have to absolutely go bonkers to make this happen.
You're questioning my gut call. That's all.
I apologize, Dan. Please forgive me. I'm going to go wait in the corner. You can take over the rest of the podcast.
Oh, jeez, it's not this again. I am the jelly.
I'm the sweet one. We're not getting into this again!
You are the peanut butter that holds the whole sandwich together.
It is fair. Alright, so I have Navi 2-0. You have Mouse winning, what, 2-1?
2-1.
I like it. Nip versus Heroic.
Oh, Heroic all day.
Heroic 2-1. I think Nip take a map.
I can see that, but I think it's a sweep.
I like it.
Yeah.
Alright. By the way, where is Device?
No idea. Oh, maybe in some hotel room with a bunch of strippers or something. Who knows?
Wow. I mean, I thought the reason he moved to Sweden was for his girlfriend or whatever.
I'm just making shit up.
No, I mean, like, I'd love to see Device back in some tier 1 play, please. I hope he's okay.
Oh, you wanted to, so I don't know if you know this, but HLTV did an interview of Device a couple of years ago, and they asked him about any up and coming players, and he actually mentioned Spinks when Spinks was on FPL.
Nice.
So I just thought that was interesting.
I like it. All right, this should be an easy one. G2 versus Movie Star Riders.
Oh gosh, yeah, I gotta go with G2.
G2 2-0.
But I could see the Riders.
Yeah, it's like I mean G2 have this weird habit of choking, and I don't want to call it a habit, but I was in Dallas. I saw them choke against Furia.
Yeah, I don't think that they do here, but
they shouldn't have lost that. But Furia they're a tricky team. But anyway, I think G2 win this. I think we're going to see a very different. I hope to see a very different looking G2 here for the group stage here at IEM Cologne. Ents versus Team Vitality. I get Ents 2-1 over Vitality.
I gotta stick with my main man, Zai Wu.
All right.
He comes through.
I like it. All right. And by the way, just so everyone knows, this is the double elimination bracket. So even if they lose, they're not eliminated. They just go to the lower bracket.
Which is why I'm okay with Navi losing, because they lose these all the time.
It's
like
fair.
I think they either they get some motivation after they lose one of those First rounds, whatever. Who knows? But it happens all the time.
All right. Well, Dan, let's get into Group B. As my mic decides it wants to go crazy. Opening round, Group B. The two matches for Thursday that we have are Team Liquid versus Team Spirit. Give me Team Liquid in the upset. Don't forget, this is a Team Liquid roster that has your Kindar standing in for Shocks.
Oh yeah, give me all. Yeah, that's enough of a change for me for them to mix it up, and actually, I think they can win.
Agreed. I'll take the upset in Team Liquid over Team Spirit. And this is kind of a no surprise, but I'll take Cloud9 2-0 over Outsiders.
Say Cloud9 over.
Yeah, I'll take Cloud9 2-0 over Outsiders.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Easy. All right. That is going to do it here for the CSGO Clutch podcast for July 7th, 2022. Follow us on Twitter at AdamWX21, at WanDelch, WANDELCH. Like to drop a like on this video, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. That way you all know every single time one of these podcasts are posted. And a bunch of other goodies are down in the description as well. All of my Clout Fantasy content and the Rent to Home Base charity run/walk that I am participating in as well. Good luck on this slate. If you get a chance to play on Draftkings, good luck there as well. For Dan, I'm Adam. Latest, peoples.